Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the confusion of faith brothers joined unto our ranks. To the hopefully elect, the Aquath who are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the Chicago GMS camp. I usually turn my phone on silent at night, but I check my phone periodically. So I drink a lot of fluids and liquids, so I have to get up to go to the bathroom at least twice during the night, and I check my phone just to make sure I haven't gotten a phone call, that some brother could have an issue or problem. But we have the group me and quite a few rooms in a big camp, and we're part of GMS, which is huge, so there's always something, so all the clicks and the beeps and the, I can't sleep, so I turn it on silent, but I check my phone just to make sure, something hadn't happened. I haven't gotten a call from one of the tops, one of the elders or something. I'll check my phone, and but this hours ago, it's still 0 dark 100 right now, but hours ago I checked my phone and I actually got a text from my professor, that's my jiu-jitsu, my coach, the jiu-jitsu genius who I obtained my black belt from, and it was this video right here. And when I saw this video, I was like, whoa, and I did a video a couple months back that's gotten a tremendous amount of views called Edom, are talking about Edom now, or the so-called white man is talking about Edom now. Edom was a forbidden and a no-no fruit. They didn't want to touch the subject of Edom Esau because they are Edom Esau. And the name of this video right here was put up by Dabu 7. All right, and it's called Super Blood Moon Eclipse, a sign of the end of days, Rabbi warns. All right, and it's funny how they put this up. They don't even go by this. This is a calendar showing you how the moon and the new moon works. All right, because when you're coming off of kind of sorta. All right, because when you're coming off of a Sabbath, the new moon is the halfway point. All right, so that blood moon should have been like in the middle. Back to give you an example, I'm going to use the pointer. The blood moon, the full moon, should be down here. All right, they don't explain that. All right, when you see a full moon, you are halfway through a Sabbath. So a full moon, even blood moon or whatever, would be halfway through a Sabbath session. So the Sabbath is done from new moon to new moon, not Friday to Saturday. Okay? Because if you're looking at all these, each one of these moons represents a day. And if the new moon, which is basically this one at the end, all right, I touched the screen. The new moon, which is basically that one at the end, it would say, that if it fell on a Monday, then the new moon would fall on that Monday for the next, until the rotation went all the way around again. All right, until it got to the halfway point, until it went from here the other way, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger until it got to a full moon. So even in this sign, Esau is creating confusion. They just refuse to tell you the truth, no matter what. All right. So I'm going to read some information that was comes from the sources are coming from Israeli rabbis, college professors, and historians. And then I'm going to play this video, and then you'll see how much Esau, when they tell you the truth, they also tell you 2 lies. And this is how they keep the people in darkness. This is concerning the non-Israelite Jews. All right, and there was a brother that posted this information on the very same said video I mentioned earlier. When I had the video I did a couple months back that said now white people are talking about Edom. It's the end, or something to that effect. Okay? But source of information number one. They, the Edomites, were hereafter none other than non-Israelite Jews. Flavius Josephus, The Antiquities of the Jews, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Drago Publications, 1960, Book 13, Chapter 11, Verse 1, page 279. So they not only give you the book, the information and where it came from, but Flavius Josephus was telling you that the Jewish people today are indeed Edomites. Now all of a sudden, you got Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew, going on television talking about a covenant made with his people 5,000 years ago. No, that was made with the real Jews, not you convert non-Israelite Jews, as this information tells you. So even during the time of King Herod, during the time of the Lord, that you had people calling themselves Jewish, and then you had the real Jews, who were a Negroid type, for lack of a better term, because that's what they were labeled, race of people. And the non-Israelite Jews, which were the Edomites, were what we refer to today as white people or Caucasians. All right? That's why Herod wanted to remain ruler over them and have the Lord killed. All right? They just the same way they want to rule over you today. Second source of information, of proof, evidence of that what I'm saying is true. It says, from then on, they, the non-Israelite Edomites, constituted a part of the Jewish people, Herod, king of Judea, being one of their descendants. Edom Idumea, all right, the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia, Garden City, New York, Doubleday and Company, Incorporated, 1977, page 589. So that is the second source that I'm using today, written by Caucasian historians, rabbis, and these people who put together these encyclopedias. This was a Jewish encyclopedia put together by a group of rabbis and historians. Now all of a sudden you get up to today, and they're the actual people. Okay, some of these sources go back to the 1800s, the 1900s, early 1900s, 1800s. All right, because centuries and centuries back, they admitted they were the converts. When they converted, that first 500 years, but now you fast forward to the future. Now they're saying they're the actual people. Okay. Third source of information, the non-Israelite Edomites became a section of the Jewish people. Encyclopedia Judaica, Jerusalem, Israel. Encyclopedia Judaica Company, 1971, volume 6, page 378. This is condemnation, condemning information, speaking the truth, condemning for them, revealing for us. Like the book of Revelations means to reveal, how the Lord reveals his color and what he's coming to do. And as this guy is going to talk about in this video. Okay? And he's coming to destroy Edom, and Jewish people are Edom. And you're going to hear this guy lie and falsify about the prophecies. The truth he spoke was that the Lord is coming back to destroy Edom. Yes, and Edom controls the world governments. The prophecy in Job 9:24 said the earth will be given into the hands of the wicked. Edom is in the Bible is identified as the wicked, and yes, they do rule the earth. So they're still here, and they're not Japhet. All right, they pushed Japhet out of his land and took Japhet's name and culture like they did everything else. They've been running and hiding from the name Edom for centuries, for millennium, man, for millenniums with an S. Okay. Next source of information. The non-Israelite Edomites, wherein were then incorporated within the Jewish nation, Edom Idumea, the Jewish Encyclopedia, New York and London, Funk and Wagner's Company, 1904, volume 5, page 41. And I'm going to read some of the scriptures where this history was also written in the Bible. Remember, the Bible is the most accurate history book ever written. And these 4 sources that I just read are backing up what the Bible says. All right. Here's another source. This was comes from Henrik Gratz, JPS, Jewish Publication Society, 1895, Chapter 1. John Hyrcanus forced the Edomite conversion. So John Hyrcanus was one of the Maccabees. So that's also proven that the book of the Maccabees, that the Apocrypha, was always a part of the Bible, because that source of information comes from the Maccabees, because that's where it happened. You'll also find that same information in secular history. So now let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 35th chapter. And this is going to be a part 2 video, because there's another video that a brother did responding to my video. You know, the brother from the South Carolina teacher did a beautiful video, also proving some very important points and bringing out some pertinent information. So I'm going to use parts of his video to continue this one to edify further. But here we go. This is Ezekiel 35 and the 35th chapter, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea." Remember, these Idumeans are so-called Caucasians, white people who refer to themselves as Jewish. And not only them, but all so-called white people. And then I'm going to play this short video from Dabu 7, and you're going to hear this rabbi lie. He's going to tell you the truth on one hand and then lie to you on many others. Because what he's saying is not matching up with the Bible. And Judaism does not match up with the Bible. The Bible, you can't match another book up. Because Judaism, they use the Talmud as their primary source. And then they claim to be Jacob. No, they're Jewish converts. Isaiah 34:6 said there's no match, no mate to the Bible. You can't match another book up with it and use it. No book has preeminence over the Bible. The Talmud is worthless as toilet paper, man. That's all it will be good for, you to crumple it up and wipe your butt with it once they stop making toilet paper, because in this end of days you're going to be facing that sort of thing. So if you have a Talmud, that's what it's going to be good for. All right. Ezekiel 35:5. "Therefore thus saith Yahweh Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against all Idumea, or Salakia, against the residue of the heathen." All right, it said the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. So all people, man. If you're not an Israelite, you're screwed. All right. "Which have appointed my land into their heart, appointed my land into their possession with all the joy of their heart." And so this is a future prophecy, as verse 6 is going to tell you. "With despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." So they casted out the Israelites for a prey and sold them into slavery. And then they assigned the land of Israel to themselves. This was a prophecy. Verse 6. "Prophecy therefore concerning the land of Israel." Prophesy concerning therefore the land of Israel, "and say unto the mountains," and to the mountains and hills represent governments. All right, just so you know that. "To the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith Yahweh Power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne shame, you have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore thus saith Yahweh Power, I have lifted up my hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame." So now you heathens are going to be shamed, man. All right, and so what happened? And so when did Israel get appointed into Edom's hand, into the heathen's hand? It said Idumea did. And we just gave you the sources that said that Idumea and Edom is the modern day Jewry. Modern day Jewry is Edom. Blank, blank, period. All right? And when did they do that? During the Balfour Declaration, which was written around the time of World War I. And when did they actually implement it? During World War II. At the end of World War II. All right? They completed the Balfour Declaration. All right? And next video, I'm going to go into some history on what happened to the Jews and how they were sold and how and how they got sold, and right there in the Bible, how the Jewish ship owners, the Arab Ishmaelite slave traders, and the dark African nations surrounded the regal class of Israelites, the real Israelites that fled into Africa. They fled into the Atlas Mountains, and then from the Atlas Mountains they fled south into West Africa, where they settled and were surrounded by the Hamites, who were their ancient enemies. And those Hamites got together with the Idumean fake Jews and with the Arabs and started the slave trade. All right, the Idumean Jewish people, when you look, they own the slave ships. So when this rabbi speaks, he's going to speak the truth about the destruction of Edom and the end of days, and then he's going to throw a couple lies in there. And it's prophesied in the Bible that right along with America being destroyed in the end of days, which is Babylon, all right, also the land of Israel is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. The land is still going to be there, but the people are all going to be wiped out and destroyed when the Savior comes back. It tells you that in Isaiah the 63rd and 66th chapter. We're going to read those, man. All right, so with that, without any further ado, let's play this video and listen to this rabbi tell you the truth about Edom, but then turn around and tell you lies concerning the prophecies.
Information here in regards to this blood moon or super blood moon that's going to take place here from the 20th into the 21st of January this year. This is said to be a rare event, and we have some statements that have been made that I covered during the live show that I wanted to put out here in a video on this channel in case people missed it. We have a rabbi warning that this is a sign of the end of days and that they expect the Messiah to return. Now, of course, he goes on here with other statements backing up why he believes that.
And he didn't use scriptures, though.
And I want to put it out there because sometimes what you hear these individuals say could be the only little hint or warning that a big organization or guys within a big organization know that something big's going to go down. Now, he says that this lunar eclipse over North America bears a message for the U.S. and Jews.
That's right.
He says it's clearly telling the Jews that they need to come to Israel. This is what he's saying.
That's a lie.
He says, according to the prophets, the end of days will signal the end of the kingdom of...
Now, you notice he didn't use any scriptures. He just said according to the prophets, and that's a lie. But he was right about America and Jerusalem being destroyed, because they are. Why? Because you got imposters in the land of Israel, and America is Babylon the Great, according to the Bible, which is going to be utterly destroyed off the face of the earth. And Israel is going to be cleansed so that the real Israelites can go back to it. Because, and this is also how you know that these impostor Jewish people are not the people of the Lord, because when the Israelites go back to Israel, which they have been there since 1947, there will be peace on earth. And there's been more wars in the earth since they've gone there than ever before. All right? Why? Because they're not the people. And the land is barren and doesn't bear. That's why there's such a welfare state and get billions of dollars for welfare from America. So they control America and Jerusalem. And through America, they control the world. Amalek has controlled the earth from the shadows, man. And now with the information the age is all coming out. No one had ever heard of the Rothschilds, you know, in days past. Now everybody talks about them.
Edom. This is the period that we are entering.
Wow,
the
let's
end
let
of the
it
kingdom
again.
of Edom.
Wow, that's just blowing me, man.
The end of days will signal the end of the kingdom of Edom.
Right, so it tells you
the
end of Edom, man. And how's the end of Edom? Edom is going to be destroyed by the house of Israel. So how are you going to, so if Edom is going to go back to Israel, see, it makes no sense. Edom is going to be destroyed by the house of Israel. So one people is going to destroy another. Because here's the prophecy in Obadiah, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. So the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, who are the true Israelites, after this whole deal is said and done, and whatever happens, and after the Edomites go into slavery, all right, the fake Jews, the impostor Jewish people included, after they serve their 1,000-year slavery period, according to the scriptures, according to the prophecies, they're going to get rounded up and they're going to be exterminated. All right? There's going to be not one single so-called Caucasian left here on earth in the flesh. They're going to be, then their spirits live forever, their bodies don't. So that nation will be wiped out, and those souls will come back mixed in with the other heathen nations. That's the end result. That's what happens. All right? Because you can destroy the body, you can't kill a spirit, man. The spirit is eternal. That's why you regenerate. You die, you go to the spirit world, and 3-4 generations, you come right back. That's why history repeats itself, because the same people keep coming back. And you fall right back into your same lot. If you are a president or a Caesar or some wicked, really military commander type guy, guess what? You're going to do the same thing. Your Lord assigned everyone their lot. If you are a prophet, you're going to be a prophet again. Romans 8:16. For the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. So Edom is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. There is no running. There's no escaping. And their time is up. And the end of days are upon us. But, and this blood moon's not signaling. The Lord is signaling it.
That we are entering now. This is what he states. He goes on to say, there will be great tragedies that will bring down governments.
And Edom runs the governments. Salakia. T went down the wrong. But Edom is control of the governments, the mountains and the hills. All right? That's why the Israelis can do whatever the hell they want on the international stage and never get any condemnation for it. Or they'll put something else in the news to disguise or not talk about what they're doing to other people.
Great human suffering. Only by doing God's will can tragedies be avoided or lessened. Anyone who is not Jewish can do God's will wherever he is.
And doing God's will, what does that mean? What is he talking about? And someone who's not Jewish. Their own information just revealed that they have nothing to do with Israel and that they're not Israelites. So the Lord's going to overlook the Israelites and give it unto the Jewish? No, that's not what the Bible says, man. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson, a revealing lesson, that it was revealing and uplifting to those who needed to be uplifted, and it was condemning to the nation of Edom and those who support them. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Abishai B'Shem Kakwadash Wa Abad Babal.